I've kept them to a minimum, and there's also a little video that I think is useful in helping you to understand our technology. So I'm just going to share our screen here. Can everybody see that?
Yeah, very good.
So yeah, so Gabriel Nocton, General Manager with Air Synergy. So just I'm going to start off with a question, but I'm not going to give you time to answer because I've only got a few minutes. But I'm just wondering if any of you know what the biggest promise that was made in 2015. Just to think about it for a moment. It was actually the promise made by world leaders to transform the world, to make it fairer and safer, protect the environment, and leave no one behind. And the United Nations, in support of that, set 17 Sustainable Development Goals to effectively bring this promise to a reality. And a lot of these were around fairness, education for all, and a lot of it was around climate change and the use of renewable energy. So in that context, I want to talk to you about Air Synergy. So we're an Irish technology company based in the Midlands in Ireland. So we've developed a renewable off-grid power solution for powering critical applications. There's a picture of the product over on the right-hand side there. So it's effectively a pole with solar panels, a wind turbine, and quite an amount of electronics and battery storage built in. So I'm just going to jump into a video for a minute, which is quite good at demonstrating the technology and its applications.
Urban environments and remote locations can now enjoy continuous renewable power, completely free from an external power source with the Air Synergy Independent Smart Pole. A hybrid wind and solar powered unit with built-in rechargeable energy source, the off-grid multi-purpose independent smart pole provides a reliable power platform where grid connection is unavailable or not economically viable. The complete renewable package, Air Synergy Independent Power Solution, provides continuous power for critical applications. Benefiting from easy installation and avoiding the need for trenching and cabling, the Air Synergy ISP products are certified to UL and CE standards and provide smart energy management that can be monitored and controlled remotely. Air Synergy Independent Smart Pole, the complete renewable package.
I'll take you back to the PowerPoint. If we look
What's
at
up, YouTube? This is LDS Reliance. Today I want to talk about the top 7 mistakes that people make when they go solar. These are in no particular...
Apologies. We can still see this?
Yeah.
So just some recent deployments. So just a couple in Ireland on the left and the middle. The one on the left is powering security cameras on a new fabrication site. The one in the middle is used by Traffic Infrastructure Ireland for monitoring traffic volumes at Dublin Airport. We've got a number of units there. The one on the right-hand side is on an autobahn near Duisburg in Germany. The 2 units in the background of the photograph is powering the variable messaging unit at the front. Just a couple of others. The one on the left-hand side is just recently installed outside Barcelona. It has traffic monitoring cameras deployed on it for monitoring the flow and level of traffic on the AP7 in northern Spain. The one in the center is for the Jacobi Medical Center in the Bronx, New York. And we've got a number of units there powering lighting. The one on the right-hand side is deployed in the UK. It's got a water monitoring equipment. It's powering in a very, very remote location. So obviously the business is scaling up and commercializing. And part of doing that, and this is the last slide, We've partnered with a number of companies around the world. So these are companies that are operating for us as distributors, or in some cases, these are companies like Autopistas in northern Spain, who are absolutely actually an integration company. So we've got a partner in Portugal, FL Gaspar, relatively new, and at their headquarters, which is only 8 or 10 kilometers west of Lisbon. They're completing the civils where they're deploying one of our units at their headquarters, so as they can showcase it to their customers. So yeah, so that's their synergy. Thanks for that.
Excellent. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you. I'm sure there will be questions about your business in Portugal later. So we'll take them later. Thank you very much. So now may I ask Susanna Tocca? Oh, that shouldn't be there.
Yes. So now
I lost you. So Susanna, she's specialized in wine tourism tour across Portugal. So Susanna, over to you.
Thank you. Yes, I am Austrian. I'm just saying it because everybody can hear it from my accent. I have been living here since over 20 years. And since 2016, I am completely dedicated to this company. The name is DocDMC, Services, Events and Wine. And with this company, I actually create for B2B, for agencies abroad from all over the world, packages and also event concepts, but all with a priority on food and wine. Portuguese gastronomy and wine are always more appreciated and well known, and that's where I come in. And I work with 2 different brands. I work with DocDMC, that is my B2B brand, and then if you want to have a look, I will put it in the chat afterwards. I also have a brand which is Winelands Portugal, and this is a platform where I actually offer experiences, either just the tasting, which can happen in any of the many quintas that are existing not only in Douro but also in Alentejo, or take the port wine lodges in Porto, or even in the Algarve. There are nowadays also quite some nice wineries which produce quality wines. And or even a day in the winelands, I can organize any kind of tours for just a couple or a family or a small group throughout the country. It can be just one day or it can be several days. Then I have I'm offering also the wine escapes weekends. We have quite some wine hotels from luxury to a little bit more than 3-star, 4-star. I mean, there is nice opportunities, nice possibilities for accommodation for all budgets available actually, and all over the countries. I mean, take the Beira Interior near Serra da Estrela, where you have also the delicious Serra cheese, and even there some nice wineries. And then I offer, of course, just also tailor-made trips, whatever. If you have just your partner and you want to do a trip celebrating something, or you want to bring your family, that's what I can actually organize. And last but not least, with my company, DocDMC, I also promote some of the best private Portuguese hotels. And we are upon creating a soft brand, a Portuguese soft brand for private Portuguese luxury hotels, where we have 2 founding partners. One is the Palacio Estoril Hotel, and the other one is the Yetman, together with the Vintage House and the Infant Sagres. Those are the 3 properties that belong to Taylor's Group. And so with this project, we promote actually the luxury image of the destination Portugal. So whenever you need a project or a plan for any unforgettable trip to Portugal, this is what I have been dedicating to since the last 2 decades. So I have plenty of knowledge about the destination Portugal, and just get in touch and I will be happy to help. Thank you. That's it.
Excellent. Thank you, Susanna. I'm sure you'll have lots of locations where we can have some of our events when we can all meet
If
again.
I still have some minutes, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
If I still have some minutes, I can run you quickly do some slides of a beautiful trip. Is the presidential train. I don't know if you have ever heard of the presidential train.
Maybe we'll see afterwards. Yeah. We'll take some minutes.
No problem.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Susanna. Thank you. So now let's go to cannot see it on the screen. Philippe in front from Health Market Research. Oh yeah, I can see you. Okay, sorry. And I think if I'm not wrong, you moved to Mafra recently, or open an office.
The story. Yeah, very good. Thank you, Arnold. Thank you very much. Hello to all. My name is Philippe Infant. Born in Portugal, I'm an Irish resident for the past 5 years. And that's this balance is one of the reasons why this IPBN makes so much sense to me. I see on the call as well the next colleague of mine. Hi, John. Hi, John Donnelly. How are you keeping? All good? He used to work in the same company as me in the past. He has now moved. Also, before all these pandemics started, I used to fly a lot back and forwards, Lisbon, Dublin, Dublin, Lisbon. And on these flights as well, I've met a couple of members like Liam, ex-Louise, that used to be here as well. And I'm hoping to, as soon as this goes away, I can find some of you now as well. I believe we will. Briefly about myself, over the past 20 years, I've been dedicating my career always in the healthcare. So very rewarding times across pharmaceutical industry, pharmacy sector, data science areas. I'm now at this moment country manager for health market research in Ireland, HMR. At HMR, what's HMR? At HMR, we provide pharmaceutical market knowledge. So we're specialized in developing knowledge based on daily information that we receive from 73% of the Irish pharmacies that partner with us. And it's then this information, this data that allow our customers, typically the pharma companies, to take them the most well-informed decisions. And that's pretty much the business model that we operate. We partner with the pharmacies, and we have then a center of intelligence where we work on this data, that we then provide this data to whoever wants to have knowledge of what's happening in the pharmaceutical market. Yeah, and that's briefly it. I really look forward to gaining a better understanding of IPBN and getting to know and develop some relationships with yourselves. So that's me in a nutshell. Thank you, and thank you for the warm welcome.
Excellent. Thank you, Philippe. So you know already a few people and you know more.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Okay, so now if I can ask Nuno Alexander from the hospital, particular do Algarve, the HPA, who are actually going to be one of our keynote speakers next week at the second part of the Algarve series that you probably have all seen on the website. So, Nuno, how is the hospital coping in the situation at the moment in Portugal?
Hi, everyone. As you may understand, we are in the front line of the pandemic, not the front line as the public hospitals are, but we are very busy every day with this situation. So I think I hit COVID, sleep COVID, so completely tough. But we need to fight against the virus, and so we'll keep on fighting until the end. So we need to be calm, patient, and respect ourselves and the others. That's the main point for getting best results, and try to stay healthy and protect each other and protect our patients, our families. That's the only objective that we always have daily, and try to get things a little bit better. So, but it's not easy, as you know, as you read in the news. So unfortunately, we need to pass maybe for a couple of months, maybe until the end of the year with this. And we know, so it's better to doesn't do some plans, because we never know what is happen tomorrow. But okay, Arnold and IPBN, thanks for this invitation, for this session, and also for the opportunity to become part of the Algarve committee. It's a pleasure. And obviously, I think we as a HPA can also help in a moment that healthcare is so in the middle of the center of your news, subjects, so discussions, and we are daily treating this situation. But so I'm here just to talk a few words about myself and my company, and back a little bit in the time when I have my 24 years. So not too many years ago. My professional life is always connected with the healthcare business. So I start early, joined to a pharmaceutical industry. So as Philippe said, EMS and HMR, I know what it is, because I live with that daily. So data is always a nice tool for pharmaceutical industry. So and thanks. And I also have friends with maybe Felipe Infante knows Hugo Mendes very well. So it's my personal friend. He's a nice guy. And I start as a sales rep, then I become RE manager, product manager, mainly international companies as Pfizer, which actually we heard a lot of news about Pfizer, about COVID vaccine. So I launched a positive product, which was Viagra, which is a very big product in the world. In 2015, I left pharmaceutical industry, and by invitation I came to the private hospital business. First with IMAR, which is a Portuguese group, and now since 2018 with HPA. HPA is actually the largest healthcare group in the south of Portugal, and also in Madeira, because last year, it was the beginning of last year, we opened our first hospital in Madeira, and also the big one. At the moment, HPA have more than 2,000 people between employees and providers. And the origin of HPA at 24 years ago, our CEO think a little bit about it, to invest in a business especially dedicated to foreigners, mainly tourists. That's it's like at that moment it was like a covering a gap in the Algarve regions. And that time it was with the first opening in Alvor, trying to help and to support the one that came here, don't want to go to a public hospital or to a Centro de Saúde, and then with the increase of insurance, international insurance companies, so we need to have an answer to that. 10 years later, the group HPA felt the need to develop something more or less using the same model to Faro. Obviously, Faro is not is a completely different market, and this unit where I am now, we saw also an increase of the Portuguese health insurance products. So they grow a lot the last years, and in Faro, with this unit, which we call Gambelas, become more the elect hospital unit by the Portuguese. So here we have more Portuguese. In Alvor and Lagos, we have more foreigners. As you know, the SNS had and has some difficulties, and so that's maybe one of the reasons that we become more and more with a lot of people that came here for consultation, surgery, exams, for having the maternity, because we have also a unit, a maternity unit here in Faro. And so we have always a lot of people at the hospital. Last year, in March, with the beginning of the pandemic, we decreased a little bit our business because also doctors have they cannot and then they don't know how to lead with the situation. They also block and close the agendas, but this year we become more comfortable with that. So using mask, social distance, protect ourselves, because as you understand, at the moment, between patients and between exams, consultation, surgery, we need to sanitize our rooms. So which cause a more difficult situation. So we reduce our agendas. We have increasing the increase of our costs also. So that's a big mess with the situation. But we are here to help and to support our patients. At the moment, we have 5 hospitals and 9 clinics between the Algarve, Alentejo, and Madeira. We performed thousands of consultations and surgery exams and almost 1,000 births last year in our maternity located in Faro. Regarding the innovation, the development of HPA using the new technology, the wasted things, HPA has been adjusting its response, always trying to give the most effect and most effective answer, because we have a big and a mix of requests. Unfortunately, the COVID has also brought some delay in some of these developments, but we may believe that we could manage these difficulties and try to also motivate our staff, and try to update our innovation and our developments of the units. So we also increase our unit here in Faro to a new floor on the right side of the building, and get more consultation rooms for consultation for exams, a new daily oncology unit, a new gastroenterology unit. So we are increasing our business just to get the right response for our patients. So we are tired, obviously. It's clear, but we are able to continue and try to fight against this virus. My responsibility is here in the HPA. I always link with the management of external partnerships with hotels and different kind of business. Our commercial activities are obviously a little bit stopped, because during these circumstances we cannot go outside and continue to interact with our partners. So we need to do those things in a different way, but still manage their situations. Also the agreements and the contract with the international insurance, because fortunately we have a lot of patients and a lot of foreigners that use this, even the one that are residents in the Algarve. We also try to improve our customer service with international patients, because they are out of their countries, so they need some support, and this is in Portuguese is a little bit confusing, because we have two systems, public and private, and this is not so common across Europe. We also lead and try, it's my responsibility to lead a partnership that we have with the HCP, which is the Health Cluster Portugal. Try to also to support the millions, not millions, but thousands of requests to the one that want to perform a COVID test to get a flight. So it's like a fit to flight with COVID tests. So last months we perform a lot of this. So maybe more than 1,000. So it was. Sorry.
Sorry, I think we will have to. We
No,
always.
Okay. So that's more or less my presentation. So if we have some questions, we can leave this at the end. Okay, thanks a lot.
We want to leave some questions.
Yeah.
And come afterwards. So sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. No problem at all.
We have we have a large number of members and still 4 to go. So
yeah.
Thank you very much, Nuno. So Caroline.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Caroline, Caroline is one of our IPBN member of the Algarve committee, and she owns a PR and events company, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Thanks, Arnold. Yeah, I started my events and PR company in 2006 after coming from a hospitality and tourism background. I was trying to think of something quite quirky to call it. So I came up with because we did such a diverse range, I went for the name Shebang. Now, 99% of people ask me, what is shebangs? Well, it's not a Ricky Martin song because there's no S in the end of it. But basically the concept is we cover the whole shebang. So we do everything from start to finish. It doesn't matter if you need us for small services or if you need us to do everything, like I said, from beginning to end. Our company is a freelance, affordable approach to marketing, to PR and events, which the idea is to lead more clients for your company or obviously to increase more success for an event. We find that 70% of clients don't believe in marketing, or they believe that marketing is something that they can do without, do themselves, or feel that it's a waste of money, so to speak. Especially with COVID, marketing is the first thing that people seem to tend to break off in regards as the finance side. Whereas we can say marketing is key. Without marketing, and that goes diverse public relations to social marketing, content marketing, digital marketing, there is just no way any business is going to grow or be sustained. People feel that social marketing they can do themselves, but for us, putting a post on social media doesn't bring you clients. It's all about the target leads, it's about the market, it's a driven response. It's not just a post, so to speak. So yeah, we specialize in that. We started off in 2006 in Ireland. Tough times then in 2006. There was a recession on then. So we developed a business plan that said that instead of having to employ somebody full-time for marketing, we offered a 3-month, 6-month, 9-month or 12-month option. This gives businesses the opportunity that they don't have to employ somebody all year round. They don't have to pay holiday pay, sick pay, have contracts such as that. It also means that we can train certain members of staff that can also continue your marketing or your PR on a lower scale without having, as in they can do dual jobs. So it's very cost effective for businesses and it's proven to be very, very receptive, and it works for people because the cost is a minimum compared to what you would have to pay a marketeer per year. On the event side, we are very heavily involved in sporting events, mainly motorbike racing and cars. We cover the World Superbike, British Superbike, Irish Superbikes. So obviously with the pandemic and things like that, it's not obviously as good as what we want it. We also cover as well Formula 1 and the Le Mans TT races. We do a lot of charity events, a lot of corporate events such as trade shows, fairs, conferences and things like that. So yeah, it's great for us. We love meeting different people every day. We love seeing a business change and grow and see the results of it. But we are very realistic to understand that times are tough, but your business can succeed and it can change just with the right tweaks, with the right marketing. So yeah, it's great that we can still obviously be active. But it's something that marketing is essential to every business. And I would say to you all, when you are looking in this pandemic and see how you want to grow, relook at that for your own business, because without it, your clients disappear, somebody else out there with a better brand, somebody that's more consistent, will get the edge over yourselves. So yeah, that's really it in a nutshell.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. Thank you very much. So now I'll go to Steve. Steve Andy, he just joined very recently the network and is the official distributor of the Sunseeker luxury yachts.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, thank you, Arnold. Yes, we run a business, an international business. We have 40 offices throughout Europe in 20 countries. I run our Portugal business. And I just want to quickly summarize into the sort of 4 key areas. So as Arnold said, we sell new products. So we sell boats. I'm going to share my screen with you just to show you put a picture here. So we represent a British brand. So I'm sure some of you have, I hope some of you have heard of it, an iconic brand, Sunseeker. They're a luxury boat builder with products ranging from approximately €1 million right up to, if somebody's got the money, 30 million. We have a beautiful office in Villamora Marina, and we sell these products to a range of clients. We also, for those that can't or don't want to spend that much money but want to get on the water and want to own a new product, we also sell this, which is a Finnish brand of outboard engine driven sports boats that range from 70,000 up to $500,000. Again, really, really cool products that get people on the water. We don't just sell boats, and I think that's really the thing that I wanted to send across at this meeting group, that as cheesy as it sounds, we like to think that we're lifestyle facilitators. I tell my colleagues regularly that, you know, be happy, smile, be positive, because we help to realize people's dreams. And that's not just buying boats. So we offer a brokerage service, or you would call it perhaps an estate agency, real estate service. So again, if somebody doesn't want to buy new, but they want to get on the water, then we can find them a pre-owned boat, and we can do that anywhere in the world. And we can arrange everything that's involved in that purchasing process to get a boat back to the Algarve or indeed Ireland. And we have on our own website, our own direct listings, we have more than 500 boats for sale at any one time. But as I say, have access to boats all over the world. I think it's important to stress for this, if you've got friends, colleagues, customers, or anybody personally interested, buying a boat can be a minefield, especially with Brexit. Now we have VAT issues. So boats that historically were let's say EU VAT paid, there are now rules over what's considered EU VAT paid depending on where the boat is based. So that creates a complication for a buyer. Making sure that boats have clear title so that the buyer actually has the paperwork to prove they own the boat. Ensuring the boat has service history and is mechanically well maintained to ensure problem-free boating for the buyer. All of this stuff, we have extensive experience. So when somebody buys a boat through us, it's a very comprehensive service that, as I said, will help to realize their dreams. They'll end up with a boat sat somewhere, whether it's Portugal or Ireland, that's you know, ready for them and their family to enjoy. We also do charter or boat rentals, and we offer everything from literally from €500 up. So we're based in the Algarve. We've been here 5 years. I have a team of 10 people. They speak fluent French, fluent Portuguese, fluent Spanish, fluent English, and fluent Irish. We have great relationship with our clients. And everything for us is about a family environment, really making sure that every part of the journey, every individual that's involved in the process, whether it's the kids enjoying the toys behind a boat, or whether it's the partner enjoying the boat whilst the other partner's playing golf, every element we look after. And as I say, if somebody doesn't want to buy, whether it's new or used, then we have a number of boats available that they can rent. And that's all the way across the Algarve, the southern Algarve, stretch of coastline. And I guess the final thing really is to say that because of the size of our business in the Algarve and our group, we are providing full gardiennage services. So, and this is very applicable to the Irish market. We have a lot of Irish customers who obviously dip in and out of Portugal. They don't. Some of them own property here, but a lot of them will come and want to own a boat, use a boat for a short period in the season. Well, of course, one of the big challenges for any owner is ensuring that somebody's looking after the boat. So somebody's regularly washing it. Let's call us a virtual captain. So we have engineers that are on board the boat every week, ensuring that the boat's being fed with electricity to ensure that all the batteries are being charged, dehumidifiers are running, heaters are running. We would manage annual maintenance, all of the things that go with boat ownership. My team in the Algarve will do that. So anybody that, as I say, wants to invest in a boat, they don't have to be concerned or worried that that asset, that investment is left to rot. We look after it and make sure that whenever they turn up, it's what we would describe cheesily as turnkey. So literally they let us know. We have an app. They would tell us on the app, or they'd phone us, let us know they're coming, and we make sure the boat's clean. We can go as far as, and this obviously depends on what the client's looking for, but we can go as far as making sure that the wine fridges are on, so there's champagne cooled, ready to drink. There's milk in the fridge. The air conditioning is running, so the boat's nice and cold. It's full of fuel, etc., etc. So it really is turnkey. They get in, they turn the key, they drive. And I guess just to finish, the other element to this is our concierge service. Because we live and breathe the Algarve, we do a lot of entertaining with our customers. We've got a lot of, let's say, professional relationships with hotels and restaurants. For anybody that's new to the Algarve, and for any of you in this group that perhaps sells products or services or is trying to convince people to invest in the Algarve, our relationships with companies that provide a better lifestyle to anybody that's here. So whether that's a restaurateur that might give one of your customers or you or your friends and family a better table or a better service as a result of our relationship, that is part of our concierge service. So anybody that, as I say, wants to get on the water, if it's connected to the water in the Algarve, please refer customers to us. Our main website is Sunseeker Portugal. Maybe make a note of that. Our contact details are on there. As I say, I've got a team of 10, and we're here to look after our customers. And if that is you, or as I say, or a client or a friend, please refer them to us.
Great, excellent. Thank you, Steve. So now, Isabel. Oh, I keep getting this. Isabel is an experienced finance and tax accountant.
All right, I'm gonna mute. Can everybody hear me? Because my thing was frozen. All right, everyone. Thanks for having me. I am an Australian with a Duarte surname. Quite funny, right? So, so basically, I'm originally from Sydney, Australia. I have recently moved to Portugal, but I've been a member with you guys since last year. I moved to a little place called Monte Studio. For those who don't know, it's just about 20 minutes out of Lisbon. I have been an accountant for quite a long time. My background is financial and tax accounting. I have worked with business from pretty much all shapes and sizes, basically in Australia, UK, and US, and Portugal. From startups to scale-ups, government work, and I have guided a number of clients with merger and acquisition, financial strategy, reporting, software implementation, and performance improvement. Sorry, I'm just being a bit conscious about the time, so I'm a bit fast forwarding it, as well as completed a number of audits. I'm just prepare a little slide of what the business. I have basically been working with clients here, Australia and the UK, not so much in Ireland yet, but hopefully we'll get there. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I going to click here, and it's going to be share screen. Can everyone see it? Yeah?
Yeah, we can say it.
Okay, great. So that's the name of my business, Terra. It's actually Terra CFO, been established in Australia now for about 1.5 years, because of the fact that I was working with a couple companies here in Portugal, so I thought it was the right thing to do. At Terra CFO, we provide not only the CFO service, but also the controller service. We are here to make your life easier with cloud accounting, finance, and tax incentives. And basically we worked, my whole concept is I am a financial and tax accountant. So when I'm taking care of clients, their business, I take the whole 360 view. I don't just look at the tax side of things, but I also look at the financial side of accounting. And that's by not only implementing the right software, but the procedures and put in place financial management reporting that it's actually is there to improve the cash flow of the business, making the business grow. And times like this, like we're facing now on COVID, it's also making the most of what's available. Our service, going back, I tried to make it very quickly. It's the CFO and controller support. I also provide the tax accounting support in Portugal and anyone that might want to invest in Australia. I don't think anyone here in this group do. It's too far, but I just put it there for reference. And I also provide financial and tax incentive support in Portugal only. Basically, the CFO service. There's a list there of what we do. I provide capital raising and investors relations, cash flow management, business strategy and consulting, organization strategy, financial modeling, budgeting and forecasting, and operational support. The controller service, what I call a VIP bookkeeper, high-end class bookkeeper, as I like to call. I provide financial statement preparation, financial reporting, process implementation improvement, internal accounting function, management, payroll processing, and bookkeeping support, again, here in Portugal. Tax service for our clients that are we working with, the CFO or the financial controller side of things, I provide the tax service. I also got a list of clients that are freelancers with an intention of eventually, as they got a stability with the client group within the client, turn into a company. We also I provide a bit of a freelancing and invoice management support. I'm really fast forwarding this. I'm really going really fast because I want to be conscious about the time. I put in a little thing here that I participated on a talk a couple weeks ago that was about grants and apoyar and so on. So I thought it would have been a bit of a good little slide to give people a bit of an idea what's going on in Portugal at the moment with grants. Of course, we all know we got the apoyar there, but also we have the Portugal 2020, which is not 2020, it's 2020-2030, that provides grant support for business here in Portugal. And depending what industry you're at and the location, like Madeira, Algarve is also a big one for tourism. That is a lot of benefits there for business. So basically, my experience in the past 9 months, I have gathered a team of grant consultants that work with me in processing those applications and preparing the right documentation, because a lot of that stuff is tricky. And I came into the fact of making sure that the company's processing the invoices everything accurately. So when it comes for claiming that the grant that's being granted, it's been approved and they're getting the money in their pocket. I also put in, so I'm getting a bit thirsty here. So I also put in about 3 tax benefits there. Okay, it is helping business already established. Okay, some of them, the CIFIDE, it's also for new business. It is basically tax benefits. For an example, the SIF, the SIFIE, can help out R&Ds, the gentleman that with the energy, perfect if he is establishing himself here in Portugal. That is a big thing there. The CLE, it's for business that are employing people that need support. You can get up to 150% tax credit benefit on that. And the RFAI. Another thing that I haven't put in on the grant, because it just got released on Tuesday. That's gonna be a March grant. It's a whole new grant thing that's called Inovação and Produtiva. It's production innovation project for grants. It's basically, it's also, I was quite surprised to see it's there to help out also the tourism industry and also any other industries that are within producing, basically building a stronger economy for Portugal. You can apply for those grants for a minimum of 20,000 euros. I was about to say 20,000 US Australian, $20,000 Australian. So it's there for that. I did go about 1 million miles because of my time, but basically that's it. I help out small business, small startups to mid-size, scale up, mom and dad businesses I like to call, and establishing themselves, creating a foundation from the start with the accounting, tax. I wear the financial controller hat no matter what, and helping seeing the view where the business is going, tax planning, financial planning, and also I got big hands on grants and tax benefits within Portugal. So it's there to help out, you know, at especially times like these where you get to try to benefit as much as you can. With grants and tax benefits is about early application. So I'm there to support you all the way through. So that's moi. So thanks everyone for the time. If you got any questions, send an email. If you don't, that's great. And please stay safe. And most important about social distance, don't go out, get home delivery. All right, thank you, Arnaldo. Thank you, Arnaldo, for your help. I'm so thirsty right now. I hate talking since I'm an accountant. I like to be in my own bubble. So
okay, thank you very much, Isabel. Thank you. And actually, regarding the grants, I would also recommend people to go on the website and search for the. We had a webinar early this year in January, actually hosted and shared by Caroline about all the grants that small and medium-sized companies can benefit at the moment.
Can I just add one thing, that the type of grants that I work with, they're a lot more detailed. They actually are, it's a very straightforward grant. Anyone can apply for it, but those are the grants that it's a much more, it's much more detailed. It's something that's run to the Portugal 2020, and also the tax benefits. Some of the tax benefits that I work with, you can apply, it's tax benefits that go up to 8 years. Once you get that granted, you can actually hold into your business to claim back in your tax up to 8 years. So they're a little bit more detailed than what was the other day. So sorry.
Okay. No problem. All right.
Okay, I'll mute myself now.
So now last but not least, Emma, who is from United Events Global. Emma has got lots of experience in marketing, events, and sustainability projects. And I believe she's working on a project of opening a college in the Algarve dedicated to sustainability tourism. So Emma, are you there? Yeah.
Hi, yeah, I am. Thanks very much, Arnold.
All
Giving
right.
away all my secrets before I got there. My big shebang, as Carolyn said, it's all gone. It's been really lovely to come in this evening. I've forgotten, I haven't been here since October. I've forgotten how lovely it feels to just hear everybody's business and just be here together, I guess, as people in business. I think we forget when you get so stuck in your mode, you know, we're all in kind of survival fast mode at the moment. So it's really nice to meet you. I met some members here back at the conference in Dublin. I bet we're all sorry that we did not go mad now. We should have really done a bit more partying than we did if we knew we were going to be locked in for like 18 months. So my name's Emma Olhan. I'm Irish born, Irish family, friends and family living in the Algarve. I've been traveling over and back since 2006. As a young bopper in business in Dublin, I was running a company in my 20s, and we were dedicated to staffing and luxury brand operations and travel retail operations from 21 to 29. That's where I got a really big flair and feel, I suppose, for my love that I know now for international business and negotiation and, I suppose, closing deals down. I love marketing. I've come into marketing, events and education, very much so in the last 10 years. I feel I've probably only come into my own in the last 5 years, despite 20 years working. But I guess it took all of those experiences really to come together. In the Algarve, when I was 27, I set up a website, algarveactivity.com. I very quickly learned in the Western Algarve that employment, 9 months of the year when you have 12 months of the year, with pretty much probably about a month crispy weather. But other than that, it's pretty amazing. I really couldn't understand the disconnect, why the Algarve wasn't being flooded, right, with businesses and setups and startups, and I just couldn't understand the disconnect. It took me a good 13 years to really get around the idea that people don't want necessarily the Algarve to get fast too soon. So I've spent a long time in Western Algarve with friends, helping them set up businesses. I've been mentoring and investing in some startups there over the last 5 years. I'm very interested in education. Carolyn's business in events and marketing is very close to my own. So I cross over a lot in what Shebang does as well in the Irish market. A lot of the work I do in the last 8 years is very much dedicated to a corporate audience. So everything from corporate runs, corporate relays, Dublin Marathon, Grant Thornton races. Everything I do is very focused on targeting this mid-senior manager, right? To try and have a conversation with this audience in their space rather than a very busy, saturated business space where they're being pitched all the time. So I try to get very creative for brands and companies, all sizes and scales, with regards to their communication. And with that, over the last 5 years, I've gotten pulled into the education market because of my experience in industry and maybe my networks. I've always been very lucky, working very well, good track record, working very hard, very long hours to make projects work. And that's done well for me in the sense that a number of colleges and universities in Dublin have me now teaching their final year students and their evening professionals in what we do in industry versus theory and best practice. So the areas that I would focus on and specialize in are marketing management, brand management, events, tourism and sustainability. Sustainable tourism being the area that I'm really falling in love with, other than my husband, I'll say, very much falling in love with sustainable tourism. And I see now, finally, I am very much comfortable with a fit for purpose objective in the Algarve. It's at a point where I can see the industry in the Algarve, the desire and the appetite from young people and millennials to want to work and travel technology, emerging technologies, listening to all the presentations in our network, the development of the digital nomad, Lisbon, Porto, Coimbra, the Algarve really becoming a great space for tech companies. I was involved in supporting companies with their presence at the Web Summit at very early stages and the Alpha program for women in business. So I'm very familiar with the tech side and marketing technologies. I'm very much getting to know machine learning, and I love to see how technology is embracing and impacting our businesses in tourism, in travel, in everything that we do by way of communications. My vision is to bring an audience to the Algarve, specifically Midwestern Algarve, to base their new startups there. And that would be from tourism tech companies, travel tech companies, bioscience companies, everything in the form of tech servicing, hospitality across to hospital management, aviation especially. And yeah, that's where I want to be in 2026. You're all invited to the first graduation of what I hope would be Algarve graduates. And it's a form of an ecosystem. I've wrote programs for human capital programs. Some of you might be aware of them, some might not, but Ireland's success has very much come from a program of 15 years where the state semi-funded, if not fully funded, the reskilling of people back into the employment system. The idea was if we present graduates that are fully, you know, well-rounded in project management, in various technologies and ICT, the companies will come, and the companies have come. And for a very small country, there's a really nice, I suppose, case study there to have a look at. But Dublin and Ireland is getting very saturated. And I can see why travel companies, tech companies, and otherwise are looking at the Portuguese market. It's a fabulous place to live and to move, and it has a lifestyle that comes with it. And if you can negotiate a decent salary, which I suppose is the battle, that you can push yourself a little bit more and have that higher lifestyle. I really truly believe Algarve is the place to be based, even if you are remote working or servicing your employer or your clients in other cities and other countries in Europe. So that's where the drive comes from. I've been part of designing programs, writing programs, and teaching programs in Ireland for an adult education market, for a reskilling market, and for an undergrad, an MBA market as well. And I see the value in getting around vocational education and grants from the EU, where you set up a system where you have a full ecosystem. You have the companies coming to the Algarve, they're basing themselves there. Their education system is actually being tweaked on an annual basis, depending on industry standards and what industries say they want. And so the graduates are coming out very much fit for employment, and the companies use those colleges to very much feed their gaps in their employment market. So that's what I want to do. That's my dream. You're welcome on board. And I have, I suppose, 13 years in marketing and events of all scales and sizes, from Mobile World Convention to, you know, small niche events that are showcase client VIP events. I love what I do, as you can probably hear. But I really want to do it on a full-time basis. In Portugal, I've been over and back religiously. The last year and a half has been good for me. Not being able to go to the Algarve since November, not that I couldn't go, my last trip there was November 2019. And the great thing about COVID is if you weren't sure about what you want to do or where you want to be based before COVID, you're certainly sure now. And as we all know, time is of the essence. So what are we waiting for? Do you know what I mean? It's about kind of go big or go home now. As I said to a client earlier today, go big or go home. For a couple of statistics, a really good event outlook report came out last week from Visible. This might help you, Caroline, and a couple of companies here. 68% of marketing managers who never would have invested in events before want to invest in events post-COVID. And they see the value in now face-to-face interaction in deals and relationships being done live, but also with a hybrid touch to it as well. So there might be a virtual event and a live event running at the same time. We can see the value of it right here because we're here together and we took time out of our day today. So yeah, I see events, relationship building, and the nurturing of business relationships playing a big part around events, around travel, people's lifestyles changing, the remote working, the new working world being very much remote focused. And I want to be part of that. And I have a number of interested parties who very much want to be part of it as well. So I look forward to what the next 20 years for me. I'm 40 years of age. I have 27 good years left of me. And unfortunately for Ireland, I think we'll have to part company soon and continue our love story from the coast of the Algarve.
Okay, I think, yeah, great, excellent. Thank you very much, Emma. I think we'll, you know, we took a little bit more time to go through all the presentation, but they were all very, very interesting, and also from a variety of network, which was really the subject of this member. You can see the diversity of business that we have. So we would like now to open it to the audience, to you, to everybody. So it's a time for you to ask questions, to anything you want to talk to to the network. You can ask questions to to the speakers or make any comments, just do it. I might just start with the first questions, which would be to all the guest speakers. With the situation we are in now for over a year, could you tell us what transformation did your business have to go, if you had to do some transformation or reinvent your business? Did you find new business opportunities or markets, or launch new products and services, or was it more business as usual and trying to go through the crisis? Like to hear from some of you, if you can.
Arnold, shall I talk to you about boat sales? Yep. It's one of the dynamic things that perhaps people want to hear about. So I have to say, we really didn't think at the start of COVID last year, we were thinking that we would be bankrupt within 3 months and that nobody would want to buy a boat, and what the hell were we going to do? Actually, completely the opposite. We've had our best year in 8 as a group. We are struggling with new product inventory, and I think that's because people are considering more than ever now their lifestyle choices, and clearly buying a boat is something that's higher on the agenda. But fascinatingly, we have sold more boats. Well, it was never done in the past, but more boats than ever through using this type of medium to show a boat. So whereas before somebody spending 100,000, even 500,000, they would never dream of doing it unless they could physically fly to the destination in where the boat's based and be on board and look at it, touch it, feel it, smell it. And actually we've sold as a group a number of boats using either FaceTime or Zoom. But one of the things it has taught us, and our business is changing, is that certainly the brokerage market, so call it the real estate market, in the boating world, we were very antiquated. Boat listings, for someone to search online and find a boat for sale, it was, being honest, rubbish photos, not good enough, usually no videos, not enough information. And obviously one of the key things for us now is that people want to see videos. They want also to see broker reviews. So they want to see that, well, my team and our group have actually taken the time to go to the boat and do a walkthrough video and give the viewer a really good, honest summary of what the boat's like. And we're finding that actually the public are putting much more emphasis on that, and happy to part with money and buy product without actually seeing it. So we've seen a big change. And I think in my industry in particular, when you consider the values involved, I mean, of course, real estate in the Algarve ranges in price, but there's a lot of very expensive real estate. But when you look at how the real estate, the realtors market their product, they are streets ahead of the marine business. And I think that's one of the things that we're going to see in the marine business generally, is a big increase in the quality of the information we bring to the market, whether it's charter boats, the experience of renting a boat, or whether it's buying a product. And there's a big shift in the use of technology and the way that we communicate with customers.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody else wants to comment?
Yeah, I guess for me, I found the first 3 months of COVID, for 3 years before COVID ever happened, virtual events have been a tack on to live events as a way to be able to reach a more of an international audience and engage them, and the sponsors to get further reach. That was always really the line. We did it so the sponsors can get their brand out there a bit further. And we never really put a lot of time into the virtual experience over the live event. So if you had a conference taking place or a summit or something like that, all of your effort and experience and skills and resources were very much on the live event, and you were kind of live streaming it for the sake of whoever wanted to see it. And we found in the first 3 months last year that with everybody going online, there was an element of like virtual fatigue, where people were sick of Zoom, sick of Teams, sick of being online. Do you know what I mean? So we could really see that. But after that, once May and June kicked in, it's funny how the human can adapt. We've never had as many requests from companies and brands, like just literally similar to what our colleagues been speaking about there, the idea of being able to showcase a product, being able to showcase your company, being able to have a chat, being able to engage with the community you never really thought wanted to engage with you, but maybe they do. Maybe they're interested. Virtual events has definitely, I think, engaged people in ways they never thought they would see themselves. Fascinating, looking at webinars, signing up for different things. And it really is a whole new area. I do believe even beyond COVID, post-COVID, it's very much going to become part of the conversation, you know, where you might still have your, obviously your walk-in service, you're going to have your expertise, your customer relationship managers, your account managers, and you're still going to be able to support what they do really nicely with some kind of, you know, virtual showcases and virtual events. And I don't see anyone here on this call that wouldn't benefit from that. You know what I mean? Just even if it's showing a day in the life of what we do here in the background, you know? So yeah, I think definitely virtual events were something that obviously in the live events business, I do 35 to 50 events a year. By last April, I realized I'd been working for 6 months on event projects for the 6 months before that were never going to be paid because the live events couldn't open the doors, so the clients had to give refunds. So everybody was in it together kind of thing. We all took the blast on the face. But you're, you know, within 3, 4, 5 months, you realized, okay, something has to change here. So even virtual races I see in Lisbon and in Porto and in Madrid and in Dublin, virtual races have gone on now. People doing races, uploading their times, and you're trying to give them the virtual experience. So yeah, conferences and summits, if you have always done something every year, I would suggest just try it. Don't fear it, try it. A lot of the clients have said to me, we're just so afraid that if it goes wrong, that's it. We're out there online. We can't go back. It's done now. You know, it's the problem's there. But it's not true at all. It's worth definitely going out there. And even if you tiptoe slowly into it, look for maybe a platform like AirMeet or Wonder or smaller platforms like that, where you can go on and provide a free meetup for some of your clients and bring them in and let them see and have a chat. But certainly my advice would be don't fear virtual. I didn't see the value of it at all until, you know, you've no checks coming in the door as such for some of your biggest events. So yeah, I had to make a very quick adaptation. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Okay.
Can I just follow on from what Emma and Steve have said? Because if there's a lesson from the last year, it's, and I know Aoife, you were talking about this over the summer, it's about innovation, yeah? Because, you know, let's face it, this has all gone on much longer than anybody expected, yeah? And we've all probably done things that we never expected we were going to do, some of which have worked and some of which haven't. But I mean, that's part of the learning process, isn't it? Yeah. And certainly from my own perspective, actually, I look at the whole last 12 months as a big positive because I've got involved in all sorts of things which I never would have dreamt of, which is a great load of fun. Yeah. So I'm sure it's not a lot of fun for some people, but you know, I'm one of the lucky ones. Yeah.
Yeah, so if I could just jump in there as well. I mean, I think the whole key is about adaptation. As I say, whether it's virtual, it's video, it's online. I mean, we brought out a new service when COVID just hit of a virtual assistant or virtual support for businesses. So people that had to lay off staff or furlough them, but they still need the help and support. So you can have that part-time and have that separate. It is all about adaptation. And as I say, as Emma said, don't be scared of virtual. You know, it's easy to record and take another take. Just take baby steps and go for it, because as Nuno mentioned earlier, this isn't going to end this year. Definitely not.
I have a question, if I may, and it's to Gabriel, and I think a couple of other people might jump in as well. Gabriel, in terms of you've appointed a sales agent here in Portugal. But does that mean that you're not selling directly into Portugal at all, and it all goes through your sales agent, or do you want some help as well from members of the network?
We have appointed only recently a distributor in Portugal, and as I just noted earlier, they have taken a couple of our units, one of which they're installing at their headquarters so as they can showcase it. But the distribution agreement with them has some constraints in terms of geographies and the sectors in which they may look to deploy our technology. So there are other sectors clearly where we would be looking to either appoint other distributors or talk directly to integration companies that might see possible applications for our product.
Great, thanks, Gabriel.
I just something as well from my perspective in terms of the challenges with COVID. I mean, quite a number of the installations we've done over the last couple of years in installing and commissioning the unit, we would routinely send an engineer to the location to support the guys on the ground with the installation and the commissioning. Obviously, that's been not possible due to COVID. So what we've had to do in terms of working around that is we've had to really enhance our online, not so much our online, but our training documentation. We've had to spend quite an amount of time in developing in much greater detail technical manuals that we can obviously provide with videos to allow those that we're selling the product to do the installation and the commissioning themselves. It was quite a concern, obviously, in the early days, but look at you adapt and you spend the necessary time in developing those materials to allow the installations to take place. And we have now much greater detail and depth to those documents. And you know, we've obviously done a number of installations in the last 12 months during COVID, where through a number of online meetings and the provision of training manuals, we've been able to guide people on the ground without physically having a presence there to do the installation and getting the units functioning.
Okay. Okay. So does
can I come in there for a minute?
Sure.
Hi everyone, and I just wanted to say thanks for allowing me to be part of the IBPN, because so far I've had 2 fantastic collaborations, which is great for the people that I'm representing, because I represent what's mostly looked on as not real business in a way that I founded Crafters of Ireland. So I'm supporting crafts people through bringing them, I suppose, trying to bring them growth through visibility. And the IBPN has been absolutely brilliant for me to be in, because of the 2 massive, really, for us, collaborations that I got. So without holding anybody up, I just wanted to say there to Steve with the speedboats, we have corporate gifts for all of your clients. If you ever want to have a chat about that, or if we could represent that this is something for you, Arnold, I'm putting you on the spot here, for corporate gifts for the whole network, if it's something that you'd want to consider going down the road.
Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Bernadette, can I ask, does that mean, are you open to gifting conferences and stuff like that, like corporate events?
Yes.
Very good. That's great. Thanks. Yeah. And are the craftspeople all Irish, or do you have a blend of Portuguese and Irish?
It's anybody based in Ireland, sort of from all over the world. But
super.
I've also had inquiries from people with an Irish connection to join. Brilliant. So I said yes to that.
Great.
For
yeah,
growth.
it's brilliant.
I'm always looking for retailers, e-magazines, bloggers, things like that, or corporate gifts.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah, that's great.
Okay. Susanna, you wanted to add something to your presentation earlier on.
Yes, I just wanted obviously my situation was much more difficult because there are actually no tourists, so people are just not traveling to Portugal. However, my experience was is I took advantage for this sort of reflection period, and I could open some new possible market sales channels. I made new contacts, and now I'm just quoting, and hopefully I will have some bookings like from June, July. Let's see.
All right. Okay. I mean, I'm conscious of the time, so it's about an hour and a quarter now. So if there is no more questions or comments, what I will do is I will share the recording of the webinar, and I will also share the contact of each other, because I think there is a lot of partnership or collaboration that that can be created from this. So we will keep doing those member meet member, which have been really popular and very successful. So just keep visiting our website to stay informed. And our next event will be next week on Thursday, the second part of the Algarve Living series. You know, Emma was talking about the Algarve being, you know, more than just a holiday destination, but also a business. This is exactly what we're trying to show of the Algarve, and that webinar will be moderated by Caroline.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you then.
Arno, can I leave a thought with everybody? If everybody,
Yeah, sure.
like me, I'm sat in my house in the Algarve looking out through a very wet and rainy day, and I don't know about everybody else, but very frustrated, very fed up, not being able to go to restaurants, not seeing family, not seeing friends. Of course, we all know why we're doing it, but to leave you a thought, if you don't know, there's an inland town in the Algarve called Silge, which is a beautiful historic town with lovely restaurants. There's also a big town called Portimao, which is on the sea, beautiful beaches, lovely marina. But there is a restaurant on the river in between Portimao and Silge called Club Nautique. And I just want to leave you all for you to visualize this. So imagine sun shining, holding a beautiful cold beer, eating combination of foods, Caribbean style, cool Portuguese food. You can see Silge in the background. You can only access this place on a boat, jet ski or small boat that you go from Portimao up the river. But just imagine later in the year when we're all free and you're traveling to the Algarve, sitting in this lovely restaurant, enjoying life. Thanks, everyone.
Steve, just on that, are you offering us all a free boat trip?
Listen,
Steve, where were you with that information when I got married in Lagos 4 years ago?
A lot of real estate.
The best promotion is word of mouth.
We work with a lot of real estate agents who have become friends of mine, and I have to say, when they're trying to sell the Algarve lifestyle, they often phone me up and say, Steve, mate, have you got a boat that we can just get a client out on for an hour? I'm not saying I can always do it, but we have done it a few times. And I have to say, it's for these guys, getting people into the country, whether it's English, Irish, whatever it is, doesn't matter the nationality, French, whoever, these real estate agents clearly are selling lovely products, probably with pools, mostly with beautiful views. But let's be honest, you could buy gorgeous property anywhere in the Southern Med. What the Algarve gives them is something really unique. And part of that is the great coastline and being on the water. And I have to say, those of you that we'll work together with, always talk to me, as I say, with some notice. We will know restaurants that you can access by sea that I guarantee most of you don't. So talk to me always. If you need help in selling your products and services and getting somebody on the water, you haven't got to spend £1 million with me or €1 million. Talk to me and we'll try and help you.
Okay, great. We all feel much better now.
If we're not dying with jealous and envy, Steve, under our Irish grey weather and real rain.
It's raining outside. It's not happening yet. You've got to wait till the summer.
It's Algarvian rain, Steve. That's like a little bit of a drizzle on your face. Spend a week in Dublin, you'll be grand. You'll appreciate home much more.
Thanks, guys.
I'm going now before you
Thank you very much.